it's interesting to me that the Tarash has become so popular. It's like there's been a resurgence in the Tarash.
Yeah, amongst the top players and on every level. Like I keep seeing this now.
Exactly. In the old days, whenever you had this position as black after c takes d5, this was a Bobby Fischer favorite, for example, always took with the knight. They always took with the knight, with the idea that after e4, knight takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. Bobby, yeah, and that became a kind of a modern way of playing it. Bishop b4 check, bishop d2. In the old days, Bobby would play knight c6, waiting for bishop c4, then playing d5, so he has a queen a5 check, and having gained a tempo, he would then play bishop b4 check and everything else. But what I wanted to say is that knight takes d5 was absolutely the way the players would play it.
Now we very rarely see that.
No, exactly. Now the new modern approach has been to play c5 takes d4. Again, in the classical theory would be, oh, this is a bad position for black because you have an isolated queen pawn position where instead of having the bishop on c1 looking to go to b2, you've already developed it.
It's an ideal version for us.
Yeah, and don't you feel terribly about yourself? And in the 60s and 70s, 80s, they did. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. The modern
engines
basically said, yeah, you can play this position. You can play this position, and you're very, very comfortable.
That's
Queen
the
d2.
thing about modern openings, right? Everything is playable now.
It's crazy.
So many openings that were considered just bad and abandoned after move 10, now we can absolutely play it.
Absolutely. No, I remember doing work with Victor Korchnoi for his 1980 World Championship match in Iran, and we looked at the Berlin. We looked at the Berlin. He, in fact, played the Berlin, but a different line of the Berlin. And the theory was that ending is just too good for white. It was just too good. And then later it became...
about 25 years later.
Later it became the go-to. And so you have a position like this. Now, this particular position with the early... I'm a little bit surprised.
Early bishop f6, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit surprising. I think old school would have been something like bishop b5, and after, for example, knight c6, queen a4. This would have been how the old guys might have played it. Bishop takes f6 would not have appealed to them because they wouldn't know what to do after knight c6. You don't want to pay...
Very good point. Also, a lot of times you don't want to take on f6 until black plays h6.
Precisely. You want to at least be asked the question of what are you going to do with your bishop.
Make black spend that tempo.
But enough of our speculating. Christian, could you bring us up to date and tell us what the theory I'm messing around. I'm messing. H6.
H6, I'm getting away with it maybe.
I feel I've done a bad. I've done
Because
something.
even after
very,
knight
very
c4,
bad.
yeah, I'm just promoting. So
Somehow,
that's some idea that I found.
yes, yes. So, 97. So, at one various moment, the knight was on d6, and we thought, oh, wonderful, wonderful blockade. Once it was on e5, and oh, wonderful, great blockade. But Levon keeps changing the blockading he said he wants. I'm guessing he would prefer to have his bishop on d4 and his knight on c5.
Well, wait a minute, 98 right now. Are we winning a pawn?
Hopefully not.
Bishop d4, bishop b5?
And hopefully you're not winning pawn.
You can't put the knight on e5 anymore, okay? Now king f3. This is exactly what I wanted. Because now you don't have king g7.
Your knight's trapped.
Your hand is trapped, yeah.
Your
You have to be careful.
my next moves will be king
I mean,
h6,
I
king
can't lose
g7.
this, but okay.
This is the
Yeah,
one of
it's
the
achieved nothing. So you can
blockades.
rotate knight and bishop c5, e5 and still be...
It would appear.
97, 95, once again, saying, you know what, if you want to make a draw, go bishop to e2. Don't want to make a draw then, probably you have to go something like king g3 right now.
Yeah, but we don't like the king on the dark square, allowing bishop d6 ideas. And I think we had a position with the king on h3 a long time ago.
Yes. Just so that we weren't losing
Okay.
it.
Bishop to
It's
e2,
happening.
I think we're probably going to see finally the repetition but in d7. Bishop to b5, yes.
So at this point, bishop e2. King h7. Don't repeat, Levon. Oh, there you go. Levon, stop the clock. He's making a claim of the draw. And it's all to play for tomorrow.
Absolutely, that will decide who takes the third place in rapid and blitz games.
And who qualifies for next year's Grand Chess Tour. The third place goes straight into the Grand Chess Tour. Big things to fight for in tomorrow's Rapid and Blitz portion.
I know that head shake so well from Levon. His way of saying he didn't have enough. It wasn't too much. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
But he obviously appreciates the fighting spirit.
He does.
Discussing
of
some
Prague.
lines.
It looked like this game was about to be over in about 30 minutes from the beginning of the show.
2.5 hours ago.
And then